Here we are, another Friday Night Live, Friday, November the 4th, 2022. Here we are. And away we go. Cheers, everybody. Nice kidney tea. Never get tired of it. It's wonderful, beautiful, highly elevated friends are the herbs. It's one thing I really enjoy. The amount of information they pass on through our emotion, our mental and physical body. It's limitless. And for us to comprehend everything that they help us with, got to be connected. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? Can you hear me, Barbara? We had another beautiful day today. It was 20 degrees Celsius. Sunny, warm. I spent several hours outside. And just beautiful, taking in those last warm rays. I think tomorrow we're having another warm day to enjoy. Spend as much time as we can out in nature. No matter what time of the year. In the winter, it's a bit tougher. If you're into the sports, skiing, snowmobiling, hiking in the winter. There's people who do that, what do they like? The type of hiking with the skis or with snowshoes. Ice fishing people go and do. I used to do that many, many years ago. Barbara's got to stay quiet. She's got with babies. All right. Very good. Enjoying your grandchildren. Awesome. Nothing like being with their family. Grandkids. It's something that would be interesting. I haven't experienced that yet. Cheers, Barbara. I'm just finishing my my kidney tea. Those wonderful herbal flavors. I just love them. But fasting lifestyle. This is what we're about. Been fasting all week. And, today we had a little bit of food, but focusing on staying with at least 5-6 days of MFS, with 1 or 2 days of eating, and move up and down the ladder of the levels. It feels good. Feels really good to be living on that nothingness, especially the dry days. Just beautiful. We've done so many experiments with all types of different fasts and so on and so forth. Everything that we have put together in the MFS realm is quite fascinating, because everything there has a purpose and a benefit, and will assist us through purging all these heavy-duty obstructions that we've accumulated in the years and or decades we've been alive, consuming, adding and consuming, and adding and consuming, physically, mentally, emotionally, and continuously accumulating in this physical existence. And depending on the state we're in, will depend on how much we hold on to these obstructions. Barbara, the new, improved, more conscious version of humanity. Can't see that. We need to see it, believe in them, and help them grow. Yeah. So, MFS has put a lot of things on the map in the last 7+ years. And, there's many people who want to make businesses out of selling product and so on and so forth to people, even though they know that there's not much you need when you have the MFS understanding. Not much at all. The costs, the prices of the food have skyrocketed. It's just skyrocketed. Today we bought a little thing of grapes for $9. We used to be able to get a case for $10-15. Now it's just like some things have doubled, some things have tripled. And cost of diesel went crazy up here. 50 cents more than gasoline. I've never ever seen that something as dirty as diesel would be that much more than gasoline. Diesel has much less processing than gasoline, but they are charging way more for it. So diesel's associated with all the trucking, shipping, and so on and so forth, right? And so that's why we're going to see that affect us. So what can we do? Well, we can live it and love it, right? We can eat only a few days a week instead of 7 days a week. How much is that going to save you? It's going to save you a bundle. Number one, in your health. Number two, in your pocketbook. Just think of a family of 4 or 5, you start consuming only 50% of the food. Wow, it's huge savings in their health and their pocketbooks. And that's what we're here for. so we can get that message out and get people to um, experience, and then slowly start getting the faith that you don't need to eat 7 days a week anymore. If you want to, you can. But once you've been doing this for a while, you won't be a happy camper eating 7 days a week, Every once in a while, we go the 7 days and holy geez, I'm going, I gotta get into a fast. This is punishment. Even low obstructive, whatever, fruits, and it's a whole different experience when you've been living and loving it to eat 7 days a week. So we continuously focus on the subtraction for the journey, because the journey is not for ourselves. The journey is this fasting journey is first and foremost spiritual. Because if it's not spiritual, we're not going to sustain it, because the flesh is weak. We're going to give in things and so on and so forth. So we need to have that spiritual foundation with meditation, prayer, so we can have a purpose for fasting versus just, I got to do it because of my health. I'm sick. I got to do it. I got to fast because I'm sick. No, let's fast for the divine. Let's throw in, let's throw our fast in for the divine. And all the rest will take care of itself. We don't have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about it. We've seen it thousands of times. Fast for the divine. Watch what happens. Spiritual journey awakens. And we'll fall off here and there because we're being tempted left, right, and center, and flesh is weak, but we come up. Life comes up with challenges left, right, and center all the time, right? And there's challenges left, right, and center that we have to encounter, and we need to learn to embrace these challenges so we can pull through them and move on to the next phase. Have some smooth sailing for a while, and then the challenge comes up. We work that, we get stronger coming out of those challenges, and then another challenge comes up, and then we go smooth for a while. It's just the way it is. We fall off the wagon here and there. So all is part of life. Don't have, let's not have fits over it, because this is part of life. This is common stuff. It's is it normal to have all of it? It's part of life, so I guess it's normal. But I don't think it's normal to be stressed out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With your work, and society bombarding us with different things and so on and so forth. I don't think that's normal or natural to be in those stressed out states 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially what we've experienced the last almost 3 years now. And some places around the world are still going through this nonsense and stressing out the people to the hilt. There's still people stressed out because of what they choose to wear. And we can only send them plath so we can, elevate their souls to peace, balance, correct conduct, so they may awaken from the illusion of what has been presented to us. It's all an illusion, all man-made. Everything's man-made. All these theories and so on and so forth. Nothing to do with divine order. Nothing to do with nature's order, which is under divine order. And divine creates and designs, and there's rules that have to be followed in order for things to function perfectly. And this is how nature operates. This is how the planets operate, right? The stars, the galaxies, the unicos. It's just all part of design, which is perfect. Everything works perfectly until what? Until we jump into this planet and we know better, and we mess things up because we know better. Yeah. So let's allow things, sit back and allow things. Let's watch nature because it's programmed perfectly, and watch how it functions and learn from that. Can we improve on its function? I don't think so. I think we can help and assist its function without getting in the way. I don't think we can improve on the divine order's creations and designs. You know, just look at the Fibonacci math that's in all of nature. Why is it that mathematical equation in all life, all living things in this planet that we know of in this planet, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and humans, that mathematical equation is part of us. It's the dampening effect of aging, and it's how things grow. And then there's a time limit in this realm, right? There's a time limit that we have in this realm, and there's an aging process with everything that's alive in this realm. Pretty much everything we know, except that microorganism, what was it called again? That could withstand anything pretty much and still survives to withstand very, very high heat, very, very cold. And it would stand to live in space. What was it called again? That little tiny thing, weird looking thing with several legs. Anybody remembers? But yeah, just think we're all part of this whole equation. We can't disconnect ourselves. We are part of it, and we can access the information that created everything, that divine higher order, the creator. We can access that by going within. It's just a beautiful thing to be part of this wondrous creation, creator. Anybody has any questions, suggestions, inspiration? Everybody's all quiet. I'm assuming you can hear. I did a sound check earlier. Okay, well, let's continue to live it. Let's continue to love it. Let's send Plaf to the MFS Plasma Bank where it can accumulate and send out that energy of Plaf to whoever needs it. All the lower field strengths will just draw from it, knowingly or unknowingly. They can draw from it. And the more we continue to add Plaf to it, the more stronger the field strength gets and the more people it can help. We can also send it to Mother Earth. We've been pillaging the Earth so long, we can. It needs our love and support instead of being pillaged by us. There's lots we can learn from nature. And if you look at pretty much everything that's been invented, the ideas come from nature, pretty much everything. We can trace pretty much every invention back to nature somehow. Or the star system, planet system. Everything has already been created. There's nothing new under creation. It's all there simultaneously, past, present, future. So everything that comes as a new invention, not new, it's just pulled from the ether. It's already there. And different people have access to the different information. Like Tesla was able to pull so much. He created so many things from pulling the information from the ether. From creator. Just pulling that information, getting the downloads. It was a fascinating man. He was able to design things and functioning in his mind. And then he would build them and be perfectly running exactly the way he saw it in his mind. I don't know how many people can do that. That's pretty fascinating to be able to build everything in your mind. So I'm going back to that experiment they did on the basketball players or whatever it was. I don't know. I think it was basketball players. They split the team in half, and half played physically and practiced physically so much time a day. The other half practiced mentally, closing their eyes, meditating. They would practice same thing, the same exact practice that the people were doing it physically. So half the team physically, half the team mentally in a meditative state. And they tested them at the end. I don't know how long this ran for, and there's no difference in their performances. You can take a lot from that information, what happened there, So that's why Tesla, he was able to build things in his mind, because there's no difference from the mind and things happening within the mind and things happening in physicality. There's no difference, is what we're trying to say. That's why, what did Christ say? If you think it, it's already done. Right? If we think, bad things, horrific things, it's like we did it already. So we have to be careful with our thoughts. We have to learn to control our thoughts, and any caca comes into our mind, we want to put it aside. It's not ours. Delete, delete, delete. Something that comes into the mind that we don't want to deal with it, just delete it. Get rid of it. Replace it with a beautiful thought. And if we catch ourselves doing that over and over again, we'll become much better at not having those thoughts and or getting rid of them much quicker when these horrible thoughts come in. So yeah, very interesting. How fascinating the whole creation works. It's just amazing. They think they can improve this brain, this mind with chips. Absolutely ludicrous, in my opinion. It's absolutely ludicrous to believe that man can improve the function of the mind and the brain. I don't see it. No freaking way. That's one thing that I don't believe is possible. It's the depth of what the creator, how the creator designed us is infinite. Things that man creates are finite. So how can you improve on infinite with finite? You can't. We can make ourselves believe through the intellect, which what I call the Luciferic intellect, the ego. Yes, we can make it better. But it's all a facade. It's all a facade. As far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. Everybody can choose to believe anything they want, right? They can choose to believe anything they like. And I do not believe for 1 second that we can improve on the creator. It's an impossibility. That's one thing that's impossible. We can access that perfection. We can remember that perfection because that's where we come from. We can remember that perfection. But to improve upon it, not possible. Not in my books. So that's why in this realm, what we call MFS realm, we put a lot of trust in the soul. Divine works through our soul. In the fasting state, we put a lot of trust, a lot of faith, because we're not doing anything. We're just allowing all that information, all the program of the design coming through, and let it do its thing. And we see fascinating, amazing miracles happen all the time. Why? Because it comes from perfection. It all comes from perfection, and we can access it. Isn't that amazing? We learned how to access it in a beautiful, wonderful way that is simple, not easy, simple. We just have to accept, follow a few little things so we can understand, to help the body purge. We use many tools to help the body purge because of the situation we are in today's world of very highly obstructive mankind. We need to just give it a little assistance because we've gotten so far away from our natural design in nature. We've gotten so far away, putting all these things that are not even food into our bodies. Just go into a grocery store and the percentage of man-made corporate food which they call food, compared to fresh fruits and vegetables. It's this fruits and vegetables is a small part of the whole grocery store. The whole grocery store is all man-made concoctions, and all this stuff. A lot of it, like probably, I don't know the percentage, probably half of it's absolute garbage, if not more. We've got abominations for ingredients that we should never consume. Just read labels these days. And I've been reading labels since I started this journey. Actually, I started reading labels before I started this journey, because I was into bodybuilding as a young teenager and stuff, and started having interest in foods, different foods and stuff, and learning about ingredients. And so that happened a while ago. I think my mother was one who taught me to read labels, if I remember correctly. Read the ingredients, she would say. Read the ingredients, and that's it. Stuck with me. And today I look at some ingredients of what they put in things. It's just like, wow. For example, a sun-dried fig. If you can find one from Italy that has no sulfur, I'd be amazed. Maybe if it's organic. I've never seen an organic one. Every single fig in all these years I've been looking, I could not find any from Italy without any added sulfites. I don't know why they do it. Greece, they don't use that stuff. So if you get sun-dried figs from Greece, they don't have any sulfites. It's just figs. That's it. It's in the ingredient list. Just giving you one example, like how do you make a beautiful, wonderful fig and turn it into an abomination by adding sulfites. These added sulfites, which they also put in wines, they cause havoc, right? What do we know about sulfites? What do we know about them? We know they are the molecular cellular superglue. So when they go in, they superglue that sulfite superglues itself within our physicality. It's very difficult to remove that stuff. Very difficult. And we can see it in the eyes. You can see that sulfur in the eyes. And there's a lot of sulfite drugs, sulfite-based drugs, a lot of them. Just look them up and you'll see a lot of them are sulfite based. And what do these sulfites do? Well, super glue. So when you take them, they suppress by super gluing the symptoms, which are not symptoms, it's the body trying to purge, and they call them symptoms. And we super glue it back into the system to have to be dealt with in a later time if it doesn't end our life. Because if we accumulate so many of these, if we suppress so many of these so-called symptoms, every time we get sick, we suppress. Every time we get sick, we suppress. What ends up happening is the body can't purge anymore. It doesn't have. It stops having the ability to purge, and then we cease to exist. That's why we die, and they call it died of natural causes. No, it's a lifetime of suppressing natural purging, which they call symptoms. So, yeah, we see things in a whole different way than most people do, and they've been dealing with this for decades, and most people think I'm cuckoo. That's okay. Again, people can think whatever they like. The miracles that we've seen through people master fasting is just incredible. And what people have overcome, people have been bedridden for 10, 20, 30 years, and they're no longer bedridden. It's pretty amazing, pretty astounding. Ed Welville was bedridden for over a decade. He's no longer bedridden. Isn't that amazing? And there's a few others that were in serious conditions. But yeah, emotion is the seed of all our physical imbalances, as far as I can see. And the root causes are the GI tract, from the mouth to the anus, because that's where we physically bombard this physicality over and over and over again. And of course, every single thing we put through our mouth has to be processed by the physicality, the mental and emotional, and then, depending what it is, it's going to be super glued into our physicality, and we have to deal with that. And then we learn about fasting, and then we got to purge it out. And what a job that is, right? Good thing that MFS came from planet Come Bella La Vida. How beautiful life is. That's what the planet's called, where this information came from. So yeah, interesting times. Very interesting times. But yeah, with what we just talked about is most people have no clue of what we've just discussed. No, most people do not have a clue of that. They think by suppressing the symptoms and then they feel okay, that they've solved that problem. No, you're just accumulating a severe future problem. That's all we do when we suppress. And same thing goes with isolates in the vitamin mineral kingdom. Same basic principle, not as severe as the meds, but we will still have to purge them out if we use them. And then we learn about fasting. We're going to have to purge all that stuff out. I went down the supplement route very hard for years. I was big on minerals because your body can make vitamins from minerals, and anything else. So we go for the minerals. But once we learn that parathyroids can utilize anything in the body and create any element it needs, well, if it can do that, then the elements are available for it to create any vitamin it needs, or amino acids, or fats. It can create it all. Once we learn that, we have to sit back and go, wait a minute, but that's not what we've been taught. We've been taught there's so many minerals that are essential, so many amino acids, so many fats that are essential, and we can't, if we don't get them in our diets, yeah, that's what we've been taught. And that's not what we understand. The new understanding is your body can create everything it needs, but it has to be in a certain state, for it to be able to do that. And the obstructed state is not the state where it can do that. That's why we run into imbalances, right? Obstructions cause imbalances. Remove the obstructions, the imbalances start correcting themselves. Simple. Beautiful. How much more easier do we want it? Stop doing everything and everything corrects itself. My goodness gracious. How much more simple do we need it? With that said, I'll let you ponder on what we've talked about. And hopefully it sheds some light on people, you know. Anybody who's put anything in their body, any meds, any isolates, anything, you need to purge it out, or there's a price to pay for all these things that we put in our bodies. Let's put it that way. There is a price to pay. And environmental, we're taking in things, right? There's a price to pay. So if you're living in a city, there's more prices to pay than living out in the country in beautiful, cleaner air. So, choose wisely. Choose wisely how you want to live and love it. And make it happen. If it is to be, it's up to me. Nobody else can do it for us. So just close our eyes and let's give thanks to the wonderful divine creator. And let's give thanks to Mother Earth. And let's give thanks to the plant kingdom. And let's give thanks to the animal kingdom, the whole animal kingdom, on land, within the seas and the oceans. And let's send Plaf to all these entities so that we may help bring balance. And we'll call it a night. Thank you for joining. We'll see you back on the page. And the next call will be Facebook Live Wednesday, 3:06. Thank you so much. Good night, Barbara. Enjoy your grandchildren. And I know you are. And have a good laugh for me. Ciao.